Good evening and welcome to the Alternative Facts TV station. I'm John D. Rockefeller V, and I'm here tonight with John Smith, who denies that he was really born in Area 51 and is the writer of Trump's presidential speech. And you claim you had nothing whatsoever to do with him claiming that the revolutionary soldiers captured the airports from the English. Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
So why is it that all the fingers are pointing at you?
I guess they have to blame somebody.
Okay. Did you ever write a speech for Mr. Trump?
A couple, but
You
they
have
were,
wrote a couple.
they were pretty terrible.
Well, but did he use them?
No, he doesn't really
doesn't use
use
them.
my stuff.
And when we're talking about you being born in Area 51, is that your claim still, or
Yeah.
not? Yes. Yeah. And you claim that your name really is John Smith? You're not under an alias?
No, that's it, John Smith.
And your mother, what was her name?
Betty Smith.
Betty Smith. And your father?
Richard.
And,
Richard Smith.
and where are they from?
Arizona and I think Texas, but I'm not entirely sure.
And why is that?
They died really early in my youth.
Okay. Okay. So how did you get your break into speech writing?
I enjoy writing and just kept writing for different people and they kept hiring me.
It had nothing to do with your stand-up comedy in Las Vegas?
Definitely not, because that was terrible. It wasn't very funny or entertaining.
But you don't deny that you did do that?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's
proof of that.
So there was no Illuminati connection with your stand-up comedy
Well, not very
Trump
much.
writing?
Not very much.
Not very much, but...
Maybe a little. I mean, I don't know who all is in the audience, so, I mean, they could have been there.
Okay. So do you have an agenda that you're trying to push? You trying to embarrass our president with?
No, I don't need to really do much for that to happen. He kind of takes that on his own.
All right. Well, I can't disagree with that. Okay. So when they booked you on my show, I think that was the big thing. Is there a hidden agenda to any of the speeches you write for him? Who else writes for him if it's not you?
Mostly just himself. Like he kind of writes his own things.
He does his
or
own
just goes
Twitters.
off book. Yeah, he won't let anybody do that.
Okay.
It's got to be him.
Well, I believe that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for tuning us in tonight, and check with us next week as we will be back for more of Hidden Agenda. Thank you and good night.
Man, I couldn't be more proud. My wife and I have our first son. We just got a new penthouse here in New York. Man, I'm doing well with my job. I just sure hope this train gets us there fast enough because I don't want her to have the baby before I get there. And then she said, "Where were you?" So, man, I sure hope this train gets me to the station. I hope it does.
Seems like these train rides just get longer and longer every day.
They get longer and longer, man. We're kind of new to New York, so, I haven't rode this train before because it's not my home train. So it said about 10 to 15 minutes, what the attendant said at the station.
Could be longer than that, man. Half the time these trains stop about halfway in the middle and just sit there.
Is this train going to the Bronx?
No, I think it's going the other direction, actually.
The other direction?
Yeah, the other direction.
Really? Oh, man.
Well, I have a car, but I don't know if you want to ride with me or not.
Hey, man, are you crazy?
No, but my old lady is.
Your old lady's crazy?
Yeah, she told me if I brought home on any more strays or anything, that I wasn't going to make it to my next birthday.
I mean, because if you're crazy, man, then I'm not going to get to the hospital and see my new son or my wife.
I hate for you not to be a papa, but boy, my wife, she can get mean sometimes.
Well, my wife can get mean as well, and I'm pretty sure she's going to be madder if I don't make it to the hospital. So can I trust you? I know this is New York. Can I trust you?
You trust me, but you can't trust my wife.
Can't trust your wife? Is she going to be in the car?
Yeah, she's going to be in there too.
In the car? Well, she's going to have to hold on then.
Well,
We'll make it work.
will we make it work?
We'll make it work.
We may not live, though.
We might not live. I'm going to live.
You think so?
I got to. I got to live for my son. I got to live for my wife.
You ain't met my wife yet.
No, I have not. She sounds very interesting, but I keep my eye on her.
Oh, yeah. You want to do that?
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Wait, how crazy is she?
Well, I'm doing good to live through the year. Let's just say that.
Just a year, that's it.
Yes.
Well, you know what? I'm going to take the gamble. So how far is your car from here?
Oh, if we make the train in an hour or so, we should have about a 5-minute walk.
An hour or so? I think that should get me there in time. I think we should get there in time.
What we might want to do is stop off and get some donuts now, because if she don't have her blood sugar just right, she's liable to get a lot meaner.
Donuts?
Yes.
I don't have any time for donuts.
We might want to take the time for donuts this time.
We can't take the time for donuts. But I tell you what I do have. I have a pistol, and you and your wife are going to take me to this hospital. Understood?
Okay. Under that situation.
Nah, it's not a choice. You got it?
Okay.
Let's go.
All righty.
All right. Keys ignition.
I forgot to tell you, my wife keeps a bat in the car too.
Does she? Not going to matter with a pistol.
Good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to have an exciting time today. You have just now tuned into LaShonda's Lounge, and we've got some fun-filled questions and stuff to talk about today. And, you know, people have been going around, and I see slogans, and I see things on Facebook about, I'm living my best life. Hey, so, JT, what does living your best life mean to you?
What living my best life means to me is understanding the premise of what I'm doing. Because when they asked me to come to LaShonda's Lounge, I thought we were going out for drinks. So I learned the hard way. So we're in a talk show. Well, I'll deal with it. That's my current best life.
Yes. All right, good. So then we have a few icebreaker questions today. And I went down the list and I found something I think will be very interesting. So I'm going to ask you, JT, a couple of questions, and we're going to see if you can give us your best life answer. How about that?
Okay.
Okay. Do you have crazy roommate stories?
Let me tell you about
Tell me about it, JT.
crazy roommate stories.
Okay, let's hear it.
I live in shared housing. And these are true stories because the people I live with come from mental health co-op. I'm there because I'm busted up. They're there because they are crazy. If you add alcohol to that, you have 7 people that share a kitchen that live in one house. And, well, I mean, legally I can't get into how crazy. Okay. But, you know, the police are, you know, they have the address in the Rolodex. Let's just say that.
Okay. So no alcohol, people. You have roommates? No alcohol. Okay. If you could choose an imaginary friend, who would you choose and why?
Well, actually, I have an imaginary family.
Okay.
I do. God is my father, Jesus is my brother, and the Holy Spirit is my best friend. And see, that's our secret handshake.
Okay. So why did you choose them?
Why wouldn't I choose them?
Oh, just tell the world
question.
why did you choose them?
See, they're not imaginary. They're real.
Yeah, they're real.
Because if I have an imaginary friend, he's probably going to be as crazy as me, and then we will prompt each other to get into trouble.
Oh, okay.
So I got to be careful with that, you know, because the police, when they come and you say my imaginary friend told me to do it, that doesn't fly.
Okay. One more question. Let's ask one more question. Let's make this really fun. What's your best idea for a reality TV show?
The church, the gossip that goes on in a church.
Okay. And you think that'll be fun?
Oh, I think it's hilarious.
Why?
Because of the subject matter that goes on.
Okay. Well, stay tuned. You've been into some good stuff with Shonda's Lounge. And remember, it's nice to be important, but it's always important to be nice. We'll be back.
I am your host, Sherry Jones, and for this segment, we have Kendall with us.
How you doing?
Kendall, can you please introduce yourself and tell us where you're from?
My name is Kendall. I'm from West Tennessee, Brownsville to be exact.
Okay, Brownsville. That's going west towards West Memphis?
Toward Memphis.
Towards Memphis, okay. What brought you to Nashville, Kendall?
I came originally to Murfreesboro to go to MTSU.
Okay.
And after I graduated, just finding places to relocate and get the career going. So that's what brought me here.
What made you stay after graduating?
I didn't really want to go back home. It was more career opportunities up this way than there were back home. And back home, I'm comfortable. I don't like being comfortable because then you be complacent.
Yeah.
So I feel staying here would make me uncomfortable and make me work harder at what I want to do.
Yeah. That's really great. That's great motivation and that's great inspiration, especially for any of our viewers out there who are getting ready to venture out to college, especially if you're a freshman coming in for August. It's funny that you mentioned getting uncomfortable, Kendall. So now I'm going to ask you a couple icebreaker questions
Okay.
just to see how you handle the pressure. What commercial jingles get stuck in your head all the time?
Affleck.
Affleck.
Affleck for sure.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
Of course. Yes, I know the Muffin Man.
If you were to change your name, what name would you adopt going forward and why?
I probably would take the name Cash. It starts with a K only because it's my son's name. And I think his name is cooler than mine. So I probably run with that name.
Okay. What is the craziest fashion trend you have ever rocked?
The craziest maybe would be today. I have my shirt inside out. So
Okay.
it was a quick, just trying to get it out to dry and get to where I was going on time here.
Yeah.
And so it will become fashion.
I have time for one more question, and that would be, what is your mom's catchphrase?
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus. Well, that is a great note to end on, viewers, and thank you for your time today, and thank you for tuning in.
Hello, tonight we're here with James, a local radio personality, to talk about his show and transition to television. So, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So, tell us about your radio program.
Well, I've been in radio for about 10 years off and on, in the ministry and gospel, of course. Now I'm currently on 760 AM, the gospel, here in Nashville. My program airs between 1 and 1:30 every Tuesday. It's more of a encouragement program. It's all about just getting people to get up, encourage one another, and give them some hope and embrace it with love and continue on your journey, pushing forward. So I'm very excited, and I love doing what I do.
So, why the transition to television?
Well, actually, it's going to give me an opportunity and the ministry that I'm involved in, to be able to reach another audience. The radio reaches a certain amount of people, but television will be able to reach another a portion of that as well.
Right.
So I'm very excited about that, and so the Lord has opened up the door and the opportunity to take advantage of that opportunity, and so
That's
here
great.
I am.
And you want to do some touring?
Of course, yes. I'm in the process of setting opportunity. I'm in the process of actually getting ready to go on tour. Hopefully, about this time next year, I'll be doing some traveling and things of that nature. So this will also give people an opportunity to recognize me and also get used to the ministry, and you know what I'm saying, and knowing that when I do come to their city and everything, they'll actually have some awareness of me as well, and what the ministry is all about.
So you're just hoping to spread it
Yes, most definitely.
and get more recognition. All right, well, that's great.
Yes.
Well, I really appreciate you taking your time and coming on here and telling about your show and everything that's going on. And good luck with your television show and everything you have going forward. Is there anything you'd like to say in closing?
Well, I mean, the thing about the ministry is, again, it's a very powerful way to be able to encourage others to step out on their faith and give Jesus his opportunity to work in their lives and do what he wants to do. We all have that opportunity. It's just about stepping out and allowing him to, to work through you and do what he wants to do. So with that, I mean, we all can use a word of encouragement every day, so it works hand in hand, and it's great. Hello, everyone. My name is James, and today I have a new guest on the show, and her name is Miss Sherry Johnson. Hello, Sherry. How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
So what brings you here today on the show?
I just came to see you, James, a good friend. And I want to correct you as I say good friend, Sherry Jones, not Johnson.
You know what? Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. So, Miss Johnson?
Jones.
Jones. Okay, Miss Jones. Miss Jones. So tell me a little bit about yourself, Miss Jones.
A little bit about me. I think we were talking about it before we started.
Yes.
I am a therapist, an intensive in-home therapist. I came to Nashville to go to TSU. And while being at TSU, I originally went to major in social work, but as being a social worker, I decided instead of taking kids away from unhealthy environments, what happens to their minds. So that's what made me change my major from social work to counseling. And so after graduating from TSU, I went to Lipscomb and got my master's, and through working at a group home and also working with kids, it kind of just made me stay in Nashville and just want to help. I can go on and on. So you said a little bit.
Well, I mean, hey, I can relate to you as far as working with kids with disabilities and challenges and things of that nature. I myself was a CNA at one time, worked in the health field, and also worked with children that were mentally challenged in some areas of their lives. So yeah, and I tell you, it was a great, rewarding opportunity to do that and to be able to assist in that area. So yeah, I'm very aware of what you experiencing and going through as well. So let me ask you this: what are your future plans as you're moving forward in life?
Moving forward in life, I have a nonprofit organization called Dream Chasers of Tennessee. So after I get my licensure as a counselor, I am going to open a group home to just be that voice in that step between kids who may be in foster care or who may be in home and have to be removed. But just a safe haven for them to come to and learn valuable life skills and receive the mental health help that they need to sustain them to living a healthy life.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Tonight we are having a session of Nashville Native, What Does It Take to Be One? I'm Terry McCormick, and I'm here with Danny Ramsey, who has actually been here since 1985. And this show is not actually about being a Nashville Native, it's about moving here and becoming a Nashville Native and what that feels like in your life. So, Danny, tell us about your move here and what prompted you. And
I started coming here in the 70s as a songwriter, and back then you could go up and down Music Row and just kind of knock on doors, and sometimes if they weren't too busy, they'd say, come on in, we'll listen to what you got. And I had some luck. I had songs published with 3 different companies, and where I worked in Ohio, the company went out of business, and there was just like no jobs, and so I thought, I'm going to come down here and just see what I can make happen. So
cool. So what was your first impression of Nashville when you landed here?
it wasn't what I expected at all. I'd seen the pictures, I guess, of Hollywood, the big Capitol Records building that was round and looked like out of George Jetson or something, movies, and it wasn't that at all. But it was cool. I mean, I come from a tiny little town in Ohio that there was nothing happening, and the people I met were music people. I'm down here trying to break into the business, but they were music people sitting in a businessman's chair, and so I felt like maybe I could fit in here.
Cool. And did you eventually feel like you were part of the scene?
Well,
you were here for a while?
I ended up running a recording studio, which I still do.
All right.
When I moved here, I was pretty much homeless. I had a '68 Chevy pickup truck, I slept on the front seat, and I think I had about $300 in my pocket when I moved here. And I started playing in the bars on Broadway for tips, and I've come a long way from sleeping on the front seat of a pickup truck, but no regrets, you know.
Cool.
It was in my blood to try, and I tried, and I had some luck along the way. And so as I turned gray, I realized I did give it my shot. You know, I'm not going to go to my grave thinking, oh, I should have tried and never did. I did try.
Well, that's really wonderful. And I know that I wish we had more time because I'd love to find out what your impression is with what's going on. But we've got to leave now. We'll be here next week again with another session of Nashville Native. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Oh, Miss Terry, I'm so sorry to hear about your sudden loss. But didn't you know that painting your horse a different color might cause sudden death since you are in the medical industry?
Well, it was supposed to be horse-safe paint. That's what the label said. I thought it was okay.
Did you use latex this time, or did you
No,
use
I
the
used
strongs?
acrylic, water-based. Are you kidding?
But it was such an extreme difference in color, it probably caused the instant shock.
Well, good thing I have another horse.
How many more horses do you plan to go through this year?
Well, I don't know. I'm thinking about doing something different, so this will probably be my last one.
Do you paint horses often?
Only if they're wooden. It's the first time I did a live one.
Did you realize this was a talking horse?
Didn't say anything while I was painting them.
It may have been because he's kind of afraid. Did you notice the look on his face?
No. Their eyes are on opposite sides of their head. How do you tell an expression?
Do you paint any other animals?
No, only if they're on canvas or wood.
Canvas or wood?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like to paint any other things?
Fences, ceilings, sidewalks. But that's with chalk. And usually kids are involved.
Have you killed any kids painting?
No.
No kids, huh? Well, that's good news.
Thanks. I'm glad you think so.
What do you like to paint most?
Just canvas, landscapes, seascapes, cloudscapes, simple stuff. Bob Ross was a great guy. That's my inspiration for painting. I'm not very good at it, so I don't do it very often, unless there's a horse nearby. But I guess I won't do that anymore.
Oh, I bet. So, how did you feel when you realized that the horse wasn't going to make it?
Well, I was pretty scared. It dawned on me that I probably should have thought twice about it. I felt for him, especially when he was just laying there writhing in pain. I didn't mean for that to happen.
Were you very close to this horse?
No, we'd only had him for about 6 months.
6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So never had really time to develop any real attachment to him.
Well, no, not really. I mean, I'm pretty sympathetic to animals to begin with, but in terms of owning a horse, they're industrial, they're tools. It wasn't a pet, so there was nothing really tugging on my heartstrings.
Well, I hope you feel a lot better and get you a new horse soon.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you saying something, thinking of me. That's nice.